Coming up on 11:15 here at News Radio 1580 WCCF. And our phone lines are open if you have a comment or a question during any portion of the show. Just call us at 941-206-1580. Toll free at 888-441-1580. Now let's get back to the show. Here's Dr. Triana.
And we are very lucky today to have Rob Kircher, who has this wonderful program. But this isn't your first program, right? You've done other syndicated programs. And it's interesting the way your concept you were saying about eavesdropping. You're going into somebody's home. They're not a professional TV person. You're so charming and you make people feel so comfortable. It just
You're making me blush, you know.
No, but it's just what I see. I said, I want to learn how to do that.
Well, I got to tell you that's part of the fun of being a producer on the show is because you're meeting all these just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. But that's also what I believe makes good television. So when people are watching the show, they know they're not professionals. They know they're the average person. And that has just an amazing, like I say, appeal. They love that. And when I go and I meet a cook for the first time, I actually do what we call pre-production, folks. So before I actually knock on that door, I've already previously knocked on that door and met with these folks just to make sure that, this is something they want to do and all that. And one of the things I say to them, actually several things, I said, first of all, don't get gussied up, okay? Don't be putting on your best clothes and all that. And secondly, don't clean your kitchen up. I want your kitchen to look like it normally would look if I were just to walk into your home as an old friend. So don't clean it up. And that's also part of the appeal. People love that because they can identify. They can identify with that person. They can identify to their kitchen situation. Because a lot of these folks are, they could be single moms, single dads. They could be people who have 2-3 jobs and, just busy lives and all that. So chaos is part of their kitchen environment. And I love that. And I think that's part of the charm of the show. So it's the commonality, if you will, of the common man that I'm really seeking out. And I like characters. I like people who are very different, very unique. And I like the fact that they can prepare a dish that isn't the same old, same old.
So how do you find them? Do they call you? You call them?
It's interesting. Initially, we put the word out through a local, it's a HOA, I think it was a little newsletter they had in 4 or 5 communities. I live in Bonita Springs, and so in that area, and that just kind of brought a flood of people. And then after that, they knew, you have to talk to so-and-so, or I have to introduce you to this person. Oh, this one is a wonderful cook. So it just evolved. And there's no shortage. I mean, trust me, there's no shortage of folks being on the show. I mean, it's amazing. And they're all just wonderful, wonderful people. So from a producer point of view, having that kind of experience is very gratifying.
So if anybody has a question, give us a call at 206-1580 or 888-441-1580. Rob is extremely interesting. He has so much to talk to us about. And so you have an affinity for food in terms, were you ever a chef?
Well,
or did you take classes?
I'll tell you a story. My wife, Barbara, of 50 years, actually plus, is an amazing cook. And I actually call her a chef, but she will not, allow me to give her that title. But she's as good as any chef I've ever met, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah, to the point where we rarely have the same thing twice. Honestly, we rarely have the same thing twice. So her repertoire of food is just, it's endless. I used to travel a lot in my work, and I would always make a point of buying that regional cookbook as a present for my wife, Barbara. But in most cases, it was a present for me because I knew she'd find some wonderful things in it which I could enjoy. So we used to have, and still do to a degree, what we call the wall of cookbooks, and there's plenty of them in our house. But she's kind of now gotten away from it. She's donated all these cookbooks to local libraries and what have you, because she goes on the internet now and finds all these things.
Right.
But she rarely cooks the same thing. So I'm blessed in that way as well. Yeah.
That's wonderful. And you said you had another show, too, that involved cooking.
Well, let me tell you a little backstory, first of all, how I got into this thing, because I do love food to the point where, I gained a lot of weight. And as a producer, I spend most of my time in front of a computer, and I'm a big procrastinator. Now, I get up, folks, at 2:30 every morning. I know you think that's really strange, but
Wow.
I've been doing that for years. And my 5-hour time period from 2:30 to 7:30 is just wonderful. It's my quiet time, even though I got the Beatles playing, I got my pot of black coffee and all that. But that's when I really do my best creative work. So I would procrastinate a lot. I would say, okay, I'm going to go swimming today, or I'm going to take that walk, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to ride my bike. Well, it never happened. So a good friend of mine is also our family physician, and about 2 years ago, he said to me, Rob, if you don't do something about your bad habits, your bad eating habits, and you're like 55, 60 pounds overweight right now, my friend, if you don't do something, you may not see your next birthday.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so it really hit home, even though my wife had been telling me that forever, but you know how men are. Sometimes we do listen to our wives, but and actually, she's always right. By the way, I got to say,
that's because we multitask. Women, we have to multitask.
I think women are far smarter than men, and you have this uncanny ability to. You're so intuitive. I mean, you can read someone far better than men can. But anyways, I'm digressing. But so that got me into losing weight, and my wife Barbara helped me. And so I started to, I went on a mission. My mission was that I actually wanted to help other folks lose weight, because I felt so much better after I lost all that weight.
Right.
My energy was through the roof, loved it. And I just felt like I had a new lease on life, honestly. I know it's an overused phrase, but I really felt I did. So the first show is one that I wanted to do very badly, and I called it Better Health, Greater Wealth.
Oh, good.
So if you have better health, you have greater wealth as a result of it.
Right.
And what we did is we have a very large, wonderful outdoor kitchen adjacent to our home. And I would cook, or I would bring chefs in from elsewhere. We had chefs in from Germany and all over that would cook with me. So everything took place within that outdoor kitchen. And so we did 52 episodes of those. And honestly, thank God that they're in syndication right now.
Wonderful.
And, so that was another blessed thing. And then I did a sequel to that called Better Health Destination Florida. So it was just things in Florida. And instead of doing it in the outdoor kitchen, I would travel to different places throughout Southwest Florida.
Okay.
And seek out people who were just doing different things in the culinary world. And we did 26 episodes of that. And then came Irma, our wonderful Irma, and that kind of stopped the show and did a lot of damage to our kitchen and what have you. But during that, I was thinking about this other show that I wanted to do, which is what I'm producing now, which is Great Neighborhood Cooks. So that's the evolution, if you will.
Okay.
So, but I do love cooking, and I do love bringing unique messages to my audience, so they can, in this case, they can go home and they can practice that same recipe by themselves, and so on.
And hello, caller. What's your name? Hello, caller.
Hey, you always bring the most interesting people, Beth.
Hi, Mommy.
How are you? You know, Betsy, he said he's been married 50 years. He sounds like a 20-year-old voice.
Oh, I love you. I absolutely love you.
He only looks about 25.
Okay, 25. I was married 55 years. So.
Wow.
I was going to tell you, if you ever decide to come my home, I can't clean the place because there's no place to hide stuff. I got so much stuff. Even my kitchen, you can't see the counters practically.
Oh, that's perfect. That's the kind of kitchen that I love. Okay, perfect.
But everything I have is either an antique or I've had for 40 years. And I've been trying to get rid of it. I said, oh, not this. It's been with me too long. Oh, not this, so.
Well, you are a delight. Thank you so much for calling. It's marvelous.
You're very interesting. I'm glad my daughter has you. Okay.
Well, your daughter is, I got to tell you, she's a very unique and wonderful person. I just love her. I just love her.
She got all that brain from my brother because my brother was a genius. And my husband would always say, if we could transplant brains, I would love Tony's brain.
Thank you, Mommy. I love you.
And I tell people, my mom was already exhausted, and she didn't give me any. She gave them all to my brother. He's older.
Well, very nice meeting you, Mommy.
I'm listening.
All right. Thank you, Mom.
Bye, Mom.
My mom is Cuban, and she would make the most wonderful arroz con pollo. So on your birthday, you were allowed to ask whatever you would want. And she makes a flan, which I was going to have her make a flan today for us.
Love flan.
Oh, okay, Mom. You're listening. You
And
got to
Cuban
make flan.
coffee. I love Cuban coffee. Got to have that.
Yes. Well, she makes the best flan. And arroz con pollo and carne ripiada and all these wonderful things. Ropa vieja.
Vieja, yeah. I couldn't roll the R. I was trying.
Ropa vieja. Oh, clothes.
So good.
So good. Oh, geez. It's really great. Let's take a quick break and then we'll be back.
Mom calls. I love that.
She always